these right here, so... Oh, we topped it. He cold topped it. Okay. Gotta get up. Yeah. 8-iron. Oh, he shanked it. Oh, look at that line, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, boy, is he out of sync.
Welcome to the Bogey Boys podcast.
Yeah, you're joined here by Kevin and Mark, as usual, and we've got a special guest here today, Mr. Tim Ford.
How are we, Tim?
Good, thanks, lads. Nice to be on.
Yeah, so this is part 4 of our professional route that we've been doing. We've got Tim on PGA Professional. Is that right, Tom? Tim?
Yeah, just waiting to do my final exams now with COVID going on and stuff, so I should be qualified within the next few months, to be fair.
Oh, happy days, happy days. So yeah, part of this journey is just to give an insight into how professionals have made it, what the journey's been like, when they started, what type of level they've played at, and the challenges that they've had up to getting to the point where they are today. So just from your point of view, Tim, where did it all start? Where did it all begin? What made you decide to start playing golf?
I started playing when I was probably around, I'm going to say 9. But it was just on the field with my dad. It was a bit of a funny story, really. I ended up we used to go and kick a ball around with my dad on the field by the house. And there was some old man hitting balls in the corner of the field. So kind of just wandered over with my dad and asked him if I could have a shot. That was the first shot I ever hit. And I managed to do it the first time, I think, from what I can remember. So it was like I was hooked then, really. Your
dad probably seen the dollar signs in his eyes, didn't he? As soon as you strike the first one like that.
Yeah, I know, madness. Like, I think I didn't really like footy, really, and I used to go and play just probably to satisfy what my dad wanted me to do. And then, secondly, seeing me hit a ball, I think he was like, right, I'll have to get him a few clubs now.
Yeah, we've mentioned this a few times. Football, you can just buy a ball for a tenner from Sports Direct, and you're off, aren't you, playing? But whereas golf, you've got to buy clubs, you've got to join a club. It's like a lot more money that goes into it. So it's a lot harder for people to get into.
Do you remember the golf shop by the Rocket?
Yeah.
So like he took me there, I think it must have been like within like the week after that, and bought me a 7-iron. I remember going in there and buying this little kid 7-iron. It was all like bronze colour. And he took me back the same field to hit it. And like I could hit it a bit, like, but then my dad was hitting the club, and I remember him hitting it for miles. I was thinking, wow, this is a great game. I want to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
Looking back on it now, my dad cannot hit a ball out of his shadow. To be fair, so I don't know what I was doing.
It just shows you look up to your dad, don't you? No matter what he's doing.
Yeah, that's it.
Hopefully, he doesn't listen to this. Like,
get you hooked on it as soon as you hit the first couple of shots. As soon as that first one goes, that's it. You just want to keep going, don't you? Yeah, amazing. Yeah. So did you join a club then, did you? To get into it? And
yeah. So I joined, you know what? I just used to go around all the municipals in Liverpool. Like I think most people do, you know, I used to go to like Allerton and Barron Park and Aintree and places like that. With like a few of my schoolmates. And this was more when I was probably like 11 or 12 now in secondary school, to be fair. So
like a summer holidays job?
Yeah, just get dropped off, like, and just get a can of Shandy Bass. I think it was and then just go and play with the lads like at 12 or something like that.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah,
it was great.
So what did you not think of it as anything you wanted to do really at that age? Just something to get out, a bit of fresh air with the lads, a bit of exercise, and just something to do other than footy?
Yeah, I was just playing. I was just literally just playing. Played cricket as well. Played cricket from the age of like 11. So I was like juggling golf and cricket, and I wasn't thinking anything of it really. I was just going out and enjoying it.
Yeah,
it's probably the best way, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. There's all with cricket as well. You got the hand-eye coordination, all that. So you're probably picking a good sport to pair it with, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it was good.
Did you hold it off? Do you like a cricket shot as well?
I used to be fair, yeah.
Did you? Yeah.
I used to, yeah. Big divots and is it right? Like, but I don't know. Maybe not so much anymore.
It's more like my golf. So when did you eventually join a club then, and where was that, and what was your starting handicap?
I joined Woolton. So the 2 lads that I started playing with in school, they had memberships there. So I joined there at I think probably 14 years of age, and I got given a handicap at 20, which was, you know, I was quite happy with that. I think they got given like 24 and 26, so I was quite happy with that at the time.
Yeah, so you had the bragging rights to start with then, yeah?
Yeah.
Happy days.
We used to go literally like any weather in the winter, like, you know, I don't know, is it October half term? Is it? It must be, mustn't it? We'd go
now, innit?
It was like freezing cold, like pissing down, and just go out and spend the day there.
That's it. So you still played in them weathers, yeah? Because what you find with some when they don't really take the game too seriously is they only play when the weather's nice. But you used to get out there in the cold and the rain, yeah?
Yeah, I got out there. Yeah, I remember a few times used to go. It used to be ice. Like there used to be like puddles frozen in bunkers, and we'd like trying to shots off them around the greens and stuff.
Yeah,
absolute madness, to be honest with you, when you think back.
Yeah, I remember I greened the 10th at Bootle with like a 3-iron or something when it was all iced. It just skidded up right up to the thing, and I was like, I'm a fucking monster.
No, it's all good. It's all good fun.
Great stuff. So then, obviously, 20s you start an handicap then, which is decent, to be fair. So obviously, from that point,
I think that's the best starting handicap that we've had.
It is, yeah.
The professional route, because everyone's like, we got given 36, I got given 24. Like, so 20 does sound like the best starting one.
Thinking back, I don't know if the fella who helped me, like the members, got to like sign your cards, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Thinking back, he might have fiddled it. I don't even know. I can't remember. He might have just put a black one in. I'm not too sure, to be fair.
As long as you're still winning the tournaments, mate, it doesn't matter, does it? So obviously then, when did you get to a point where you thought, you know what, I actually like this game, I'm going to give it a crack, and when you're seeing your handicap start going down? So just talk us through that route then. So you're at 20, when did it start coming down? You thought, you know what, I'm actually all right at this game?
I played competitions, like junior competitions at Woolton, basically, and I was obviously going all the time with the lads playing, just friendly, and just playing competitions, you know. And then one of the lads, he ended up, I think at the time, we was playing off 20, but was shooting like mid-90s. Yeah. And one day, my mate shot like an 84 out the blue. I'm like, we were adding his card up like 6 times after it, thinking like, he's cheated here.
Yeah, no way.
But he had an 84, and then like within a few weeks, me and my other mate ended up shooting like, I think we had like an 82, an 81, and like we both broke 80 for the first time. And then we got the bug then, you know, that was it, I think.
Well, it's good that you've got healthy competition from a young age as well, innit? 3 mates who are all off the same standard, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you just start beating each other. What are those two up to now? Did they crack on, or have they gone the other way?
One of them's got, he works as a scientist in Germany on Mega, though.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so I think he kind of hits a ball sometimes, but he's not really into the golf anymore. And then the other lad, he plays cricket. So they don't really play anymore, to be fair.
Yeah.
So I decided to stay with it. Like, I don't know, we got to the standard where it was like, you either carry on or you go out on the beer and with the, you know, all that. And I just stayed playing, and they just fell away a little bit, maybe.
Well, that's it. Did you not get swayed away by, obviously, when you get to the drinking age, 16, 17, 18, you go into town, you're doing things, were you not swayed by that? Was it just golf for you at that age, was it, or?
It was, it was a bit of both, really, to be fair. Like, I played cricket, like a decent standard of cricket, up at Wavertree Cricket Club from the age of 11 up to 21, 22. And that's like a big, like, I suppose, like a drinking culture, you know, you play and you'd have a few beers after it. And then I was actually playing golf early in the mornings on Saturdays, then going to play for like 4 or 5 years.
Was you, yeah?
You do need a healthy balance of golf and beer, though, don't you? Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, you're not going to make it.
Of course. Yeah. What's the point in playing? What's the point in playing if you're not doing that? Definitely, yeah. So obviously, your amateur career, then Tim. Obviously, when did you get to the level where you started competing, or did you ever get to that level where you started competing in higher ranked tournaments, or did you ever get to national level? What type of handicap did you get down to at what age?
Yeah, so I didn't really play anything that's like what you class like a top amateur standard. I played the Brabazon Trophy just before I turned pro. Didn't do particularly well in it, but it was quite good to get into it. It's obviously like a really important tournament.
Where's that, the Belfry?
It was at the London Club when I played in it. It's like, I think it's the English Open Stroke Play Championship or something like that.
Right. Just because when it said Brabazon, that's what the course is called, and I just thought it would
Yeah. I'm not sure where that name comes from, to be fair, but I kind of like just worked my handicap down at Woolton, played a bit of like regional stuff, like Northern Order of Merit.
Yeah.
Ended up, I think I got to +1.
Nice.
So I was playing a good standard, but I wasn't like the top standard in the county, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just more of an under the radar type of golfer, so you just sort of didn't do nothing spectacular, but you were still there or thereabouts, and you could still get in those tournaments and play them.
Yeah, so I was playing basically all the Northern Order of Merit tournaments. Did okay in a few. I think I won one, come like second, and got some good finishes, but didn't really break through to like the county side or anything like that.
I think a few of the lads that we've had on have said about them Northern Order of Merit, the more you can get out of your own club and to other clubs and playing, and then the standard scratches are so high, if you shoot a good round, you can smash your handicap down quite quick.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember playing Hillside in the Pines, and I think I was off probably 1 or 2 at the time, and I think I shot like 2 over 2 over or something on like a really windy day, and I came down like a full shot and a half or shot.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's what you get, don't you? The standard scratches can go up 4 or 5 shots, can't they? And then all of a sudden you're not playing off 1 or 2, you're playing off 6 or 7, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good. I love playing those courses, especially around here. They're the best ones to play, like.
Yeah, it's good stuff, yeah. You'll have to come up and play SNA.
Yeah, I believe you both play at SNA, yeah?
No, I'm a phone behold me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm looking on joining there, like, because I went to phone behold the other day, and there was a big society on the team. My playing partners weren't there, and I was just like, this is a fucking shambles, man.
Yeah, it's busy there, isn't it?
Joke.
So, SNA is great, like, love SNA.
Yeah, do you get to play there much or not much?
I've played there. I haven't played there for about a year or so. I've got a few mates who are members there. So we usually sign us in like maybe once a year or whatever. Just great, isn't it, to go up there? Good surfaces to play on in the winter and stuff like that.
Yeah. So going back to the amateur then before we move into the professional ranks now that went, what was the biggest tournament that you'd either ever played in as an amateur that you won in a tournament? Was it the Northern Order of Merit stuff? Is that?
Yeah, I'd probably say that was like one of the biggest ones. Like, I think at the time I wasn't really taking it that seriously. So I was, I won quite a lot at like my club, and then like moving into the Northern Order of Merit did okay. But when I kind of went to that higher level, didn't really do a whole lot.
I was just about to ask you there, when you're getting down to +1 and you're playing in these Northern Order of Merit, we've had a few people that say the work ethic that they're putting in on the range and the practicing, they have like the grinding at it, and they're really putting the work in to get to the sort of standard. Like, are you one of them, or are you a naturally good golfer?
I think I'm more of like I worked hard at it, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because I was playing cricket and golf. When I was 18, I actually went to uni for 3 years and did sports science.
Where?
And we started a uni team, and we had like a really good team, to be fair. And there was a few lads there. One who plays at Royal County Down, another lad who played in Sheffield at a top course, and we used to just drag each other on. We were all good when we go playing. And after uni, I've kind of thought to myself, I'm going to have to start taking this a bit more seriously now. So I started putting a bit more work in with it.
Ah, I see, yeah. Where did you go to uni?
At John Moores.
Oh, I see, yeah. Because we've done like a sort of a sportsy sort of degree, but we went to Myerscough.
Yeah.
Yeah, like UCLan, wasn't
it?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think after uni, got out of uni, I thought, you know what, I was actually trying to get a job as a teacher. I didn't really, and nothing really went through. There wasn't many jobs going around, and I got offered a job at Liverpool Golf Centre, just as it was in new ownership. So I took that, and like I haven't looked back since. Really, it's been great, and that's when I started hitting loads of balls.
Yeah, so you're there now. Is that where you're situated at the moment, Liverpool Golf Centre? That where you play out of? Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm attached to. Yeah.
Where is Liverpool Golf Centre, by the way?
It's in Netherley. It is.
So it's Netherley driving range, like what it used to be.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
So it was bought under new ownership and basically completely renovated and changed into like it's a good top facility now, to be fair.
Have you got all the top tracer stuff there now?
Yeah, top tracer. Got top tracers in every bay. You've got a TrackMan simulator studio, bistro, all that. It's really good.
Yeah, really good stuff. Yeah.
Sick, that.
What you need.
There and do our next go to the Shambo Challenge up there.
Yeah,
get Tim on as well and see what his ball speed's chatting.
Yeah, are you into that, Tim? Are you the ball speed and are you jumping on that bandwagon? Have you worked on that as part of your game to see if that has any improvement, or are you just sticking to what you know?
I could do with an extra 10 yards, like, or extra 50 yards, to be fair, thinking about it. But yeah, now it's massive, isn't it, these days? Everyone wants to hit the ball further.
It is, yeah.
I think you can get anyone can get an extra 20 yards. They're going to be taking their handicap down or shooting better scores, aren't they?
Yeah, of course they are. Yeah, definitely.
It depends though, because if your extra 20 yards are taking you into the houses every time, it's a bit of a nightmare. And at least the Shambo, it's straight, isn't he?
Yeah. Like with the Shambo, I don't know. I think like obviously in America with them courses, he can just do that, can't he? But
yeah,
when I'm on a links course over here, it might be a little bit different.
That's it. Wind into the face. You know what I mean? You haven't got the freedom of just letting it go because you're all out of sync. So it's completely different. You've got a 20-30 mile an hour wind coming straight at your face, and you try and swing it that fast. We all know what happens, don't we? It doesn't go quite as you plan it, does it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Have you just set Bryson to Shambo a challenge to come and play SNA there? Because we know you're listening, Bryson. So like, you can get in touch.
We'll pick a windy day in the winter and see how far it goes then. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
If only. No, so then obviously you've got yourself to a +1 handicap then, Tim, and you obviously you put on the practice in then. So where was the turning point where you thought, you know what, I'm going to give this a go as a professional? Was it a specific time, specific tournament that you played in, where you got to a certain level? What, talk us through that route, how you done the transition from amateur into the professional ranks?
So it was like I ended up qualifying for the Brabazon, and I didn't play that well there. And then I've come back and I played some good stuff towards the end of the season. I thought to myself, like, where am I going to go from now? And obviously, like a job, I'd like to get myself a decent job and maybe further my career. I was getting to I think it was maybe 24 years of age, something like that. So I thought I'm going to have to start earning a few quid here. And I thought, you know what, my only passion that I really like is golf at the moment. So I thought I'm going to do my PGA.
Yeah.
Funny thinking back, I don't even know why I decided to do it. I just, this is the natural progression for me. So I decided to do my PGA.
Yeah, you just went for something.
Were you off +1 at the time when you decided to do it, was you?
I think I'd actually gone to +0.4 or +0.3, so I'd gone to scratch. So you're not, when you turn pro after that, you're not really thinking of making any money by playing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, it depends. I always look at Ian Poulter's story when he turned pro at 4, and look at him ride the cup when he winning all sorts. You know what I mean?
There's also ways to look at it as well. I mean, you can play amateur for a long period of time, get to +4, +5, and like previous lads have said, you're playing a certain standard of course when you're at that level, and then when you go into the professional ranks, it completely flips on its head. You're playing more of a Parklandy type courses, and there's more birdies that are needed out there. This is just going off previous conversations we've had. So when you're turning professional off of scratch, I think sometimes it can benefit you, because as I say, your expectations mightn't be as high because there's lads that you're playing against who are +4, +5. It maybe takes a bit of pressure off you, so you can go and have a bit of freedom. Did you find that when you turned professional, or was there still those added pressures?
No, exactly that, really. I literally turned pro. I thought I'm going to start coaching. I might play a little bit, but it was more about doing my PGA and starting to coach and things. I ended up playing, you have to play a certain amount of events when you turn pro. So the first year that I turned pro, I think my first event was at Lancaster Golf Club.
Yeah.
Just like a PGA regional one. So I've gone there with absolutely no expectation at all. I put a little bit of practice in before it, but anything that I would kind of think that I was going to play well. And I think I've shot level par. It's sort of solid knock, but it was quite windy on the day, to be fair. And I think I managed to pick up a little bit of money.
Yeah.
In whatever people shot. I don't think that there was any really low scores. So I was like, that's like a surprise. Don't know how much it was. Don't think it was that much, but it was like, oh, all right, fair enough. And I just carried on playing them, and I did all right. Again, no expectation, just going to playing dead freely, which is the secret, isn't it? I think.
Yeah,
Turning up to play freely, And just ended up doing all right, won a bit of dough, and I was thinking, I can carry on doing this every week, on top of my wages, just one day out of work, go and play. And then I got the bug then. I think there was one tournament at the end of the season in my first year where it was played a few of them, and you got through to the end of the season order a merit event, and ended up coming second in it. I was in the last group on the last day, and I ended up winning a bit of dough. I was thinking, you know what, maybe I can carry on pushing on with this now and keep playing,
And how old were you there, Tim, then, at that point? Was this at your 24, 25, was you? And this your first year at having a go, was it?
It was 2017, so I was about 25, 26.
Yeah.
So quite late, really, compared to most people,
Yeah.
It's so mad, isn't it? Because you could go to that first tournament at Lancaster, shoot 85, and think, I fucking hate this. But it's just one bad knock, but then one good knock puts you in that positive mindset, and you're like, I've earned a bit of money here, let's go again.
That was it, literally. That was it. I think a PGA level as well, entry fees aren't that much, so you're just paying maybe 30 or 50 quid really on most of them. It's just you're having a bet on yourself, aren't you? Yeah. Go and play. You have a good game, you might win a bit of dough, and you're working on the side, so it sounds.
Well, that's going to be my next question then. So financially, was you backed by anybody, or was it just all you'd work, you'd save your money up, and then you'd pay, and if you made money, fair enough, you put that back in the pot to carry on going?
I just kind of sorted it myself, really, to be fair. I had a little bit of equipment off where I worked at the driving range, which really, really helpful for me, a bit of stuff there, and just apart from entry fees and stuff, I just sorted myself.
Yeah.
And just went to play.
And how do you find that? Because when we've spoken to other professionals in the professional route, they've obviously said that without the funding and without the finances, then there's no point in doing it. What's your opinion on that? Do you think that there's the way that you can do that with your own funding and just trying to split both of them and getting to a certain level?
Yeah, I think it depends what level you want to go to. You know, I think if you're pushing onto higher levels when the entry fees are more and you're traveling and stuff, then you probably need, you know, either a rich mum and dad, or you've got to have a sponsor.
Yeah.
Maybe skins, one of the three really. But I think if you play, like, for example, regional level, like the lads who do really well in the region, they're like the really top players, don't get me wrong, but they're making decent dough on top of it. I'm guessing most of them are coaching as well. You know, some of the top players. You probably have some of them on here in the next few weeks or a few months, like, and they make a nice amount of dough, like, to be fair.
Yeah.
You know, it's only an hour drive here, an hour drive there, 50 quid entry fees and all that, and you can win 1,000 quid in a day. So it's not bad, is it?
Definitely not.
I think that's what one of the lads come on and did say, that he'd won 1,000 quid and 500 quid he'd in there. But then I think when the real financial struggle come in, have you played Europro before? Have you?
I've done qualifying a few times, so I've actually managed to get my card for next season.
So this is going to be your first season coming now?
Yeah. So it's not like it's not the top ranking, but I think it's category 10, which basically gets you most events.
So congratulations, mate. That's very good. But so going forward now, are you going to try and self-fund that? Because we found I don't know if you want to listen back to the other episodes, that they're talking 500-600 quids a week and stuff. So are you going to look for sponsorship, or what's the game plan?
I think, like, sponsorship, I wouldn't turn it down.
Yeah, definitely.
Or otherwise, I'm going to be skint, aren't I, basically? But I'm definitely going to have a go at it next year either way. Like,
yeah. So how did that work then? So just going back a step there. So you've got yourself to playing in the PGA regionals. You've had to, you know, and then just talk us through that journey up to the point where you have qualified for the Europro. So when you've had a go at the Europro Tour, was it just teaching, have a go? Is that the way it's worked for you?
Yeah, I've been kind of doing everything really. I've been working up at Liverpool Golf Centre, as I said before. I've been doing some, like, coaching up there, like junior coaching. I've got a job at a factory in South Liverpool called Get Drag Ford, where I've been coaching there for 4 years, coaching the workers in their golf. And I've been coaching at, like, Liverpool Golf Centre as well, like adult coaching there as well for the last year or so. And then in my spare time I'm playing as well, practicing, trying to get my game sharp. So, like, I'm just, throughout the regional level, I've done all right over the last few years, and just thought, why not? Let's have a go with that. Let's try and qualify. I think I first tried to qualify for Europro in 2018, and a bit of a mad story. I managed to get through a Form B all. I went down to final qualifying at Fulford Heath and done my knee in. I had to walk off after like 8 holes, something like that. So I was gutted.
Nightmare.
Come home next season, gone again for Europro qualifying. I ended up getting through to finals, I think, because I had a decent result in the order of merit in the region the year before. So I ended up going down again. And I had, like, back trouble before I went, and ended up slipping a disc in my back, basically there on the range.
No luck, you have you?
So I was like, honestly couldn't believe it. Sounds like a sob story, this, but I could not believe what was going on.
Yeah.
It's like a case of Europro, I don't know what was happening. Like, so I ended up playing them 2 rounds anyway. Just took codeine, I was off my head playing.
Sounds boss.
I think I finished like 240 lads there. I think I finished like 130th or something. So I'd probably got some starts. But then that full season, 2019, I was just written off of me back. Played a few events and just ended up getting like a scan, and my disc was slipped, and I had to do physio and like rehab and all that. So that basically last season was a write-off. So I didn't play any competitive stuff really.
So when did you start playing again? After all that? Is it just fairly recently, or before COVID, after the lockdown? How was it?
Yeah, so like I got myself fit like probably from January this year, and like I was looking forward to the season, then COVID happened, didn't it?
Yeah.
So my first competitive game was really June. Played like a few 1836 tours, played some PGA stuff, had a few nice results, few indifferent ones and stuff. And then started playing well the last few months, to be fair, before Europro qualifying. And then managed to get through then down to Oxford for the 3rd time.
No injury this time? 3rd time lucky then instead of unlucky for you?
I know, my head was all over the place when I got down there as well, because I had like a trapped nerve in my neck. So like I was thinking, what is going on again? But I managed to make the cut anyway, so I was happy.
Yeah, and you got yourself some starts for next year then.
Yeah.
So what's the biggest tournament you ever won as a professional then, Tim?
Probably, I think the rewarding one for me was regional qualifying for the Open about 3 years ago. I think 2017 at West Lancs. Won that by 2. I was made up with that, to be fair.
Yeah.
Again,
there's some big boys that go down to that as well sometimes, don't they? When they lose the card and that, like Challenge Tour players and all that, trying to qualify for the Open.
Yeah, you know what? There was a lot of top players in it, a lot of top local players. I played great. Again, no expectations when I played. Just turned up. I owed a few putts. I managed to win by 2. Went up to Scotland for final qualifying, and there were some big names up there.
How did that go?
I didn't do that good. I think I shot like 75, 77 or something like that.
Yeah.
Pissed down, like.
What do you think that was down to? Did the pressure get to you there, or was it just was it a weather, or was that probably one of the biggest tournaments you've played in, knowing that if you win there, you're in the Open?
Yeah, it was a bit of everything, you know. Like, there was pressure. It was pissing down. I didn't have a waterproof bag, like a dickhead. My mate was carrying for me. He was like a drowned rat when he walked off. But again, like, just what an experience that was. Just learn so much. Really did learn so much.
I say these are going to put you in good stead for what's to come in the future. Obviously, you'll know now when you go up to these Europro Tour events to make sure you take your waterproof bag with you and things, don't you?
Yeah, I've got one now anyway. I've got a Phantom on some sound.
Yeah,
learned that lesson.
So it seems you took a slow climb from obviously going from scratch, and then now you're starting to play on the Europro, which is like most of the lads on the Europro, as we were saying, they're off like +5s and +6s when they're turning pro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So from when you've been scratched and then to actually now, do you think have you put a lot of work in again, even harder graft on the range and stuff, or is it being at the golf centre and actually being around golf all the time that sort of helped? Do you know what I mean?
I think, you know what, a bit of everything really. You know, it's like from a technical point of view, I've got a really good coach in Dave Thompson, who's based at like where I practice up at Woolton. He's like really, you know, he's brought me game on. I reckon he's probably made me better by about 5 shots over the last 4 years. You know, really, really underrated coach, to be fair.
Yeah.
Without him, I don't think I'd be this, you know, where I am now.
So there's a lot of guys who would have just cracked on as an amateur till they're 29 and maybe went for pro in the 30s or whatever. So saying what you've said there with your coaching things, you think you'd have probably got to a +4, +5, the standard you're playing at now?
Yeah, I mean, with this new handicap system as well, obviously, like, that's probably, I don't know what you boys are thinking about it, but I think you can't do handicap. Touchy subject with us. If you're low handicap, but anyway, I think you can't do handicap. It'll be maybe 2 shots. The new one will be 2 shots better, won't it?
Yeah.
So scratch, Kongu, you're going to be a +2, plus maybe even +3, aren't you?
That's it.
So I think, I think the lads make me play off like +3 when I play with them. So
yeah.
I don't know.
No, good stuff. So, obviously you've got your Europro Tour card for next season. So, what's the future all for you, Tim? What's the plans? What do you want to get out of the game of golf? Are you gonna have a good crack at it now and try and go challenge European Tour and even bigger? Is that your ambitions, or is it just see how you go and don't put too much pressure on it?
Just gonna kind of try and get better every day. To be fair,
yeah,
I'm on a nice incline at the moment. Just gonna keep putting the work in. Obviously, still going to be doing plenty of coaching up at Liverpool Golf Centre, and in my spare time, be working hard on my game, trying to get better. I think there's certain aspects, there's like yourselves, probably there's aspects of your game where you think you can improve a lot on. That's like, I know what I've got to do. I've just got to try and work on it and improve on it, you know.
No, mine is every aspect.
So what are you boys playing off?
Well,
this is touchy, Tim. This is touchy.
The new system, is it?
I was off 9 at the beginning of this podcast 2 months ago, and I said to Loco, I am going to get lower than you by the end of the season. And then I got to 5.6, and
I was 5.0.
And then he's at 5.2, so I was getting close to him. Then we got this mad new handicap system. I was at 4.4, and he's at 2.8, and I'm like, what the fuck? But then we just had an email today. He's at 3.6, and I'm at 3.1 now. So I've done it.
You're playing well, aren't you, basically?
He's officially lower than me. Officially. I'm absolutely fucking fuming. Honestly, but we were joking, weren't we? We were saying, do you know what? We're at that level below 4 now. We might just turn pro. You might see us in those PGA North events throwing 50 quids away.
Yeah, you may as well. Like, you got nothing to lose.
I'm definitely playing some Northern Order of Merit next year. I can't wait. Honestly, I want to start getting into them. Like, I've been away for 5 years and just starting to get the bug back for golfing down the range every night. I'm loving it. Do you know what I mean?
Great game.
I have to get down to Liverpool Golf Centre, won't we?
You have to come down, you know, and spend the evening there. It's good fun.
We will definitely. We'll come down.
What sort of graft are you putting in there, practice-wise?
Well, over the last year or two, maybe, like, you know what, not that much really compared to what some lads are probably putting in. But from now, like, I'm going to be up in it.
But it's product, like, you can go to the range and it's 1,000 balls, everyone knows that. But if you go on the range and actually drilling things in, going back to the coach, taking on what they're saying, drilling in with 70 balls, like a 20-minute session can be better than 1,000 balls if you're doing the right things, can't it?
Absolutely. Like, in my eyes, like, it's about the quality, not the quantity, isn't it? So for me, I've always, because obviously when I did me back and I realised I used to it maybe like 1,000 balls, maybe more, 2,000 balls a week on the range, because I was just working there. So I kind of thought to myself, with me back problems, I'm going to have to practice a bit smarter now.
Yeah.
So now my practice is based around being smart, and my practice, like, not wasting a ball, doing loads of short game stuff, loads of button drills, loads of routine stuff, you know.
So when it comes to your practice, then obviously you're smart and not hard. Do you look at the science of it? So are you like a Bryson? So you're more of a looking at your statistics, your strokes gained, how all this is working out, so you can pinpoint the different elements that you're using and things like that. Do you know exactly where you are with your game when you're playing? What's not going right? What is going right?
Yeah. So every, like, competition round I play, I'll like keep a few stats, like greens and regulation. Did I put it in play off the tee? It's not like I've hit a fairway. It's like, have I put it in play where I've got like a decent lie to the green, basically.
Yeah.
And like, what was my strokes game putting and my scrambling maybe as well. And I think if you keep them for 3 or 4, you've got a really good idea of where you're losing shots.
Yeah, because me and Kev we've never really done that before, but we've just got an affiliation with a company called Arcos Caddy. I don't know if you've heard of them. ARCCOS, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of them, yeah.
So they've sent us some of the sensors, and we're going to start doing that. We Kevin start trying to understand the elements, because we've never done it before. So that's why I was asking the question, just to say, obviously, does it help you in to just obviously dictating the part of the game where you think, you know what, I was absolutely terrible off the tee, or me putting, so then that will make you for the next week work on that part of your game?
Yeah, 100%. I think from like a swing point of view, if I'm missing it one way or like I'm missing it the other, you just go and speak to your coach, don't you? Say, look, I've been hitting this shot, get a lesson. He tells you, you know, this is why.
Yeah.
Here's what you've got to work on, then you work on it and you get a feeling into your game from there.
When you started teeing up that question there, I thought you were going to start trying to sell him the Arcos Golf there.
We've got a discount code if you want it.
Discount code there. That's sick.
No, just because taking us back to my school days, we used to pen paper, and then we go out on the range, we'd do 50 yards, 70 yards, 90 yards. And then when we go out on the course, we'd have a book and we'd say each hole how many greens we have, fairways. We'd go back, we'd assess it, and we'd practice. But since then, like, I've never done anything like that. And when I've noticed it coming back this time and trying to improve. I've got no idea. Sometimes I'm bad off the tee. Sometimes I miss a few putts. Sometimes I'll duff a few chips. Other times I'll have a good round. So without taking those each time and getting an accumulation of where you're at, you don't really know where your weaknesses are, do you?
Exactly. I think like bad shots, like in your long game, can contribute to bad shots in your short game as well, can't they?
Yeah.
So for example, your stats say you hit one out of bounds, then you lose your routine for your iron, your chip, and then your 3-putt. It's not the fact that if you hit it into 15 foot, you wouldn't be 3-putting, would you, if it was for birdie?
Yeah.
You're in a better mindset. So you can have like shots that'll affect you down the line.
Yeah.
It's knowledge is power as well, isn't it? So the more obviously you can know about yourself, it's like what Tim was saying there, we were talking about going the range. If you go to the range and you've got your coach with you, or you go to your coach and say, look, I'm hitting this shot, and they can be like, wonder why you're hitting this shot, let's get it on the video. Look on the video and you're like, well, look at this, you're in your own way, your posture's this, your grip, or whatever the problem might be. So the more information you can sort of gather about yourself, the better, isn't it? Even if you're at a 20 handicap, the more that your coach can see, and the better you're going to improve, aren't you?
Definitely. I don't think a lot of people think when they're playing crap they're a million miles away, but I don't think you're ever really that far away.
Exactly.
No, I really don't, especially like the lower handicap you get. If you're less than 15 even, you're not that far away really from playing well. Just a little thing here and a little thing there really, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So would you, obviously as a coach as well, Tim, so say a prospect came to you and they were like, my game's this, would you prefer them to come with those statistics and say, look, I think my game's this, but I've actually got evidence that this is where my game's at? Would that make it easier for you as a coach?
Yeah, 100% it would, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people come to you, and every PJ coach would probably hear this, but I can hit my irons, but I can't hit my driver.
Oh my God, we already had Dave saying that the other day.
David said that the other day when we played, said the exact same thing. He was like, I'm topping it all the time, and then he'd go with a few shots, then he'd thin everyone.
Yeah, I don't want to look at my irons today, just my driver, please. Like, let's just warm up with your irons, you can see them, you're like, wow. Yeah. I think as well, it's very rare that a player will come to you and say, here's my stats, here's my swing, what can we do? It's always about the swing, isn't it? It's never about what the ball does, it's always about the swing.
They want the swing to look like Tiger back in 2000, don't they?
Yeah.
It's all about, as we've noticed, and we've all played, like, obviously you're a better standard than us, but we can all get rounds where you shoot level par or a couple over, and it's all about the short game, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
clean up.
Yeah.
Bowling some putts.
This is where we've got a bit of a pet peeve about the Bryson thing, haven't we? Everyone on Bryson's back about he's ruining the game, he's ruining courses. But at the end of the day, we look at the statistics each week on the golf with the big guys, and on the PGA Tour, European Tour, it's the ones who've got the better strokes gained around the green and putting averages and things that they're the ones that win it. Like you say, swing for show, putt for dough, isn't it? It's true.
Yeah. I seen Bryson play in Dubai a couple of years ago. I walked around with him for 9 holes, and he was playing with Garcia. And obviously, like Sergio's one of the best ball strikers on tour, isn't he?
Yeah, amazing.
To be honest with you, at the time, Bryson weren't like he was hitting it far, but he weren't hitting it like he is now. And Bryson was hitting it just as good as Sergio. It's when he won actually, when he won in Dubai. There's a class. Yeah. He was hitting it just as good as Sergio, but the big difference was he was holing everything he looked at. He was just putting unbelievable, and every putt that he hit looked like it was going to go in. I think he's underrated in that aspect.
He puts the science in, doesn't he, and the effort into, like, his yardage book. I've never actually seen a look at it, but I can imagine it's got a good few notes on it.
Yeah, some madness on there, mate. So, yeah.
This is it. Only he'd understand. It's like coded. It's like a coded book, and anyone else gets their hands on it, and you're not understanding a single thing, are you?
Yeah, but there's one thing that did struck me with him was his unbelievable putter. Watching him, like, he is an unbelievable putter. Like when I watched him play.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that people are taking that away from him, innit? At this, like, by saying, "Oh, he's just bombing it, he's doing that." You've still got to get the ball in the fucking hole, haven't you?
He's just a good all-round golfer. Do you know what I mean? What they said when he won the US Open and was giving him loads over that, saying he ruined it because that you should never do that to a US Open course. But he wasn't leading going into the final day. He was quite a few back, so he just had a good final round, didn't he, in a solid game. So it's interesting that golf's obviously going to keep growing, isn't it, and keep changing. It's just about sticking with it. But yeah.
Do you practice your short game much, do you, Tim?
Yeah, I love that part of it, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think, I just used to spend hours on the chipping green at Woolton, just chipping and playing bunker shots and stuff.
Yeah. What would you say is the strongest part of your game then, Tim?
Probably me chipping, to be fair. Yeah, short game.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's what you want, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like we were saying, everyone can stiff it, can't they? But to get up and down is where you make your money.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a lesson on my short game either, to be fair.
All natural.
Never had a lesson on it, but just because I've done so much of it, I can just kind of like...
You know in your head, don't you? You can feel it. I mean, I always say to people as well, I mean, I'm not a PGA professional, I'm not nowhere near it, but chipping's the strongest part of my game, chipping and putting. So, and I've never had a short game lesson. I've always just threw a couple of balls in a bad lie and just chipped them out and got a feel for what you need to do to play that type of shot and just try and get a feel for it. Doesn't half work.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Another good one's like taking 4 balls to the green, just like throwing 4 balls down and then playing like a low, a medium, a high, and then a lob to one flag, and just do that round the green out of different lies, like, and you'll soon learn how to play all shots.
Yeah, no, definitely.
That's a good idea, because my chipping is absolutely shocking, man. So I'm gonna, but it's getting a bit better with me to get my technique there now. But I'm only just being able to get the technique, so I haven't got the range of shots. But I'm going to practice that drill over the winter, mate.
That's good.
Yeah. No, definitely, Tim. And it's been good to have you on, mate. I mean, the story's different to what we've heard before, which is fantastic. You know, you've not.
That's what we want, yeah.
You've come under the radar, as you've said, and obviously you've had your injuries, but you're back now, and you've got your tour card. So we wish you the best of luck, mate.
But also we'll get you back on as well in after the season as well, and give you a little review of how you've went and how you've done this season, and you can sort of maybe, because we were talking about the financial struggles and how people have got on with it and different things, so we can sort of see if you're singing off the same hymn sheet as the other lads coming in the season.
Yeah,
nice one for that, lads. Appreciate it.
And if anyone is listening, as I say, you're open for sponsorship, aren't you, Tim? So if anyone wants to give you a helping hand, you know, they can always get in touch with you, can't they?
Be very much appreciated. Yeah, you can get some free lessons as well if they're struggling with the game.
Definitely, yeah.
But we'll be down next week. One of the days, Mark, when we get down to the golf.
Yeah, we'll organise it. We'll go down. Get you up to SNA. Get you up to SNA, Formby or whatever. We'll have a game. We'll
definitely, 100%. Drop us a little message, boys.
We'll do, yeah.
Yeah.
You're on Instagram, are you, Tim?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give you a follow on Instagram after this, and we'll keep in touch definitely, and we'll follow your journey. Best of luck, and we'll get you on soon, and we'll keep in touch, mate.
Nice one, lads. Appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Mate.
Thanks for coming on, Tim. Cheers, mate.
Right here, so we topped it. He cold topped it. Okay. Try to get up. Yeah. 8 iron. Oh, he shanked it. Oh, look at that line, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, boy, is he out of sync.